patch notes for Magic Arena. Historic bans, suspensions, and rebalancing announcements. Oh, baby, rebalancing. Chat, did you feel that disturbance in the Force? That disturbance was the Magic Boomers crying out in pain. Suspended in historic memory lapse. Woohoo, baby! Oh, chat, we can play non-blue decks, maybe. That's exciting. We banned Brainstorm. Look at that. Look at that. Everybody gets their... It's funny. I would like the record to reflect that I would like to take credit for Brainstorm finally being banned with my tweet this morning. They definitely didn't have this planned in advance, and it was my extra tweet this morning that pushed the pressure on them. Choose this article instead. All right, there's a lot. This is a lot more words in it. Oh, this is, what does this says? Announcements? Other announcements in it? No changes to standard. We've been carefully monitoring standard metagame since format rotation and the release of the In-Straight Hunt. As standard season winds down as we approach Crimson Vow next month, we're aware of players concerned with the impact of individual cards such as Epiphany and Chariot. After reviewing the MTG Arena metagame data and recent online events and considering the upcoming release of Crimson Vow, we decided not to make any changes at this time. So, before we get on to the good things that they did with Historic, I would just like to say that this paragraph summarizes Wizards' fundamental problem with format management, in my opinion. They are reactive. They would much rather have the release of Crimson Vow be overshadowed by Alduin's Epiphany than take action to make people excited and want to play with the new cards. Because the reality of Crimson Vow, and we haven't seen any of the cards yet, but the reality is a lot of cards in Crimson Vow will just be unplayable because Epiphany exists. And like, if that comes to fruition, like it likely will, then, you know, they'll kick the can down the road and 4 weeks or 6 weeks into Crimson Vow, they'll decide to change something, and then it'll be more exciting. But this, it's reactive. It's the typical, we looked at the data that we refused to share with you, and trust me, bro, it's fine. Everything is fine. Our algorithms say everybody is having fun. Trust the algorithm. So this is something I'm not happy with. I think this is pretty, I'm unhappy, but also unsurprised. This is pretty typical. We don't want to do anything. We don't want to touch it. Our data says things are fine. Trust us. All right. We're done complaining. Let's look at, they did a good chat. Let's look at the good that they did. Brainstorm is banned in Historic. People are finally getting wild cards. Great. Tybalt's Trickery is going right to banned. Great. Memory Lapse suspended. Really glad Memory Lapse is gone. Fuck you, WotC. Stop suspending cards. The suspended list is anti-consumer bullshit. Just ban the cards and give people wild cards. The suspend list in Historic is an abject failure that only serves to screw people out of cards that they've crafted. This is not okay, and the way they use the suspend list is not okay. It should not have taken 3 months to give people wild cards for Brainstorm being banned. It shouldn't have. It's unacceptable, and it's awful. Davriel's Withering and Davriel's Soul Broker's third ability now only affect a creature and opponent controls. Okay, so Lark combo no longer works. Sure. Faceless Agent is now a 2/2 from a 2/1. Ooh, we're getting buffs. Sarkin Wanderer to Shiv's second ability is now a +1 from a +0. Conjure a card named Shivan Dragon to your hand. Okay, that's neat. Sure. Subversive Acolyte now costs 1B from black, is 2/3 from 2/2, and toughness increase from Human Phyrexian is reduced by 1. That could maybe be playable. I remember looking at this card and thinking this card was maybe playable. Yeah, because it's Phyrexian Negator or lifelink. There's a very good chance that this card's super playable. Jumpstart Historic Horizons create a large amount of change in the historic metagame, and most of it looks positive, but after watching the initial reception to September's Historic Open and the response to the broader metagame, there are adjustments that we feel it needs. Addition of normal bans and suspension will give us a rebalance on digital-only stuff, sure. On the broader historic metagame, one of the big changes is the return of decks built by Trickery, now using Throes of Chaos. It's banned. Looking at high-level play in the Arena Open in particular, Memory Lapse emerged as a nearly must-include in all high-performing blue decks, and it was the most played non-land card in the Arena Open, as well as the Best of 3 ladder, and is one of the most played cards in Best of 1. While we do believe that removing Memory Lapse from the format is likely to create further improvements in format diversity, we also believe the case is less clear in Tybalt's Trickery. In order to increase format diversity, Memory Lapse is suspended. Now, just please ban it. Oh, banning Brainstorm shift the metagame in a healthier direction. Oh, who could have predicted that? Definitely not the person that wrote the condescending suspension of Brainstorm article originally. How will rebalance cards work? Since these digital-only cards are only in Magic Arena, we can cleanly update all existing cards at once on October 14th. That's tomorrow. Text and stats on these cards will change to match their new values. These changes will affect any format where these cards are played. There will not be an in-game notification about rebalancing, but that's something we're working on going forward. That's good. That's an admission of, hey, we don't have this yet, but we need to have this for the future. That's a good thing. Busy Hands, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Read on for more. Oh, we do have pictures of the new ones. These changes are just them getting rid of Vespal Art combo, which is fine. And it's because the game can result in a draw. We played Vespal Art combo last week, and we forced a lot of draws. So this is a good change. They're just trying to make tribal decks better, which is a good acknowledgement. Tribal decks are something a ton of people enjoy playing, and making tribal decks better is a good thing. Let's just make the Planeswalker better. Sounds good. Someone we already looked at. Sweet. Competes directly with Gifted Aetherborn for black decks looking for defensive options, and its mana cost adds a defensive option for black decks without needing to commit heavily to play Gifted Aetherborn. This is actually a really this is a really good nuanced takes. I like that they're looking at this from not just a power level perspective, but what slot it competes for with other similar decks to try and diversify that type of thing. What did I miss? Did I miss a thing? Currently, we are restricting these changes to digital-only cards. There will be no conflicts between a digital and printed version of a card. We would like to expand beyond this, for example, by replacing previously banned cards so they can be safely returned to digital-only formats. There are multiple clarity and communication problems we need to solve before we can consider these types of changes. This is something we plan to work on in the coming months, since it bears repeating, would only impact digital formats. Neat. Good. That's sweet. Good. I'm glad this is good. Magic needs to get with the times, and this is a good acknowledgement of getting. And like, we knew that this was something that was likely coming, right? Because like they gave us that event where we had the mirror event where we had rebalance cards with the arena symbol by the name. So it does not surprise me that this is coming, and I hope we will get here sooner rather than later. All right, so to give a punchy summary at the end, the standard announcement here is unsurprising, but also disappointing. The historic changes are good, except for the fact that Memory Lapse is suspended instead of banned. The suspend list is nonsense and should no longer be used. They should just ban cards and give people wild cards. Someone said there was more on this page. What else we got here? Midnight Hunt, jump in. We're getting insight similar to Jumpstart, sure. Arena open for people that like to gamble. Some card styles and stuff. They're getting rid of the arena forum, sure. Sure. I mean, overall a net positive. Seems great. I'm happy with this. There were Pokemon Unite patch notes. Was there something other than the Blastoise skin? Do we have something happen other than the Blastoise skin?